What's up, y'all? I know the hair is different. The hair is herring. It's different. I know. If any of you know me, I don't really straighten my hair that much. Like, if anybody has started supporting my channel already, that I know that I don't really straighten my hair that much anymore. I did a lot in high school, but not so much anymore. But kind of wanted to come on and just see how everybody was doing. I just got off of work myself, so it was a pretty slow day. Pretty slow, which is surprising for a Tuesday, but I don't know when you guys are watching this, but for me, when I'm making this video, it's a Tuesday, and it was kind of slow. But I'm not complaining. It's okay. But yeah, so hence why my hair is like this. So since we had the time, you know, one of my co-workers did my hair for me. She did a really good job. Really good job. I don't really have any complaints. The ends are a little frizzy, just a little bit. I told her, like, you know, don't be afraid to put more attention in there. She was very gentle, very, very gentle. So that I can't complain about, because she was very gentle. But I think I just wanted to come on and just talk about gratitude a little bit, I guess. I didn't really have a specific plan. I mean, usually how I've been going about these videos so far is I kind of just talk about anything really that comes to my mind. I don't really script it or anything, because I kind of want to keep it as real as possible, you know, as far as like whatever I mean, I do come up with a topic, okay? That is one thing. I'll come up with a topic and then I'll just talk about whatever the topic is based off of. But today I don't even have that planned. I didn't even have that planned, and that's okay. That is okay. But I want to say that I do. I think coming off the top of the rip, I do want to talk about gratitude a little bit, for sure. I do want to talk about gratitude, and kind of just want to go off of, because, you know, I told y'all that the reason why, you know, compared to my last video, I wasn't on here for like a little over a week, and due to that, it was kind of because of, you know, I was kind of going through it mentally. And, you know, I kind of like just want to take the time to kind of just, again, just show gratitude and just be thankful, really, because I over critique myself a lot. And sometimes when I start feeling bad or have a bad day, and because of that bad day, I'll start thinking a little negative, and I kind of get really hard on myself, and I'm like, dang, like I failed. Like, and when I say I failed, like, for example, if something were to happen and it would ruin my mood, like like I'll feel like I'm a bad person, or like again, like I failed, like that was a test and I failed, and and that's why I always say to you guys, because and that's why I always say to you guys, you know, have compassion for yourself, be gentle with yourself, even if you fall back into a repeating like negative pattern or anything like that, because it's, as long as you acknowledge that, you know, you did the little mix up, or you know, fell back into that negative pattern or negative way of thinking for a little bit, as long as you catch yourself and then you change it, that is what matters. But if you are not aware of it and you are stuck in this whole like pointing the other finger, which, don't get me wrong, there are situations where the other person did cause you to be in that bad mood, or whatever the situation is. Yes, sometimes it is an outside party that causes it, but when it comes to your mood and whether or not you're okay or anything like that, that is entirely your control. That is entirely your control. It's not the other person's responsibility for your happiness. And that's whether, in love, or somebody, again, did something to make you upset. It's nobody has control over your feelings. Nobody does. And, and again, I'm not saying that you can never be angry or be upset or be sad. Feel those things. And that is where emotional intelligence comes from. Like, let yourself feel those things, and then just kind of, but don't linger in it. Don't linger in it. Feel whatever you're feeling, and then get yourself out of it. Do something to get yourself out of that mood. You don't want to linger in it. And I personally I self-reflect a lot, like a lot. It's kind of become like a little like hobby at this point. I self-reflect maybe a little too much, and sometimes I overdo it sometimes, and I'll start getting into this mindset of, oh, I should be much further than where I am right now. And when I say further, I'm talking about like my healing journey. Like, I feel like I'm not getting, sometimes there's days where I feel like I'm not getting anywhere, if that makes sense. I just feel like I'm not getting anywhere. But in all reality, if I actually take the time to, again, reflect about it, but think about it in a more positive standpoint, I actually have come a long way. I mean, I'm doing this right now. Like, I actually have come a long way. And that is why I kind of wanted to come on here. And I guess like the topic is just to, be grateful, because I have come a long way, and I forget that sometimes. And I'm sure like a lot of you, like if you have ever, like, if you're going through therapy, or you're thinking about starting your own healing or anything like that, there's going to be days where you go back into that mindset of, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing enough, or I should be further, or just that mindset. And it happens to me a lot. And I guess you could say, when I do get into that type of mindset though, I kind of been trying, again, like, retrain your brain, and I'll think of, once I start thinking like that, I'll just start thinking about things that I have done, things of how far I have come, like this, for example. I would never do this in 1,000 years. Like, the me 6 months ago would never do this in 1,000 years. I wouldn't be putting myself on blast like this for other people to hear. But the reason why I do is because I want to be able to help whoever needs it. Like, if this reaches at least one person who is going through something similar, that is really all that I care about. I want to be able to just let people know that other people go through similar things. Like, nobody is alone. Nobody is alone, because again, I know what that feels like, to feel like that you are going through all of these things alone. And it just it just, you gotta learn to just kind of change that, to change that mindset of I am alone. That's another thing too. Like if you're somebody that has ever gone through that, like feeling like you're alone, like, because I have, especially when my depression was starting to get a little bit worse. I really did feel like I was alone, and I should just stop talking to everybody, and there's nobody that could really understand what I'm going through, and I'm just being a burden whenever I'm talking about my issues to someone. Like, I should just stop doing it and just keep it to myself. Because me trying to talk about it, especially talking about it to the same people over and over and over, it just gets really burdensome. And at least that's how you start feeling it. It just feels very burdensome, and it feels like you're annoying people. And that's something that I had to realize. Like, you especially if it comes to people who talk to you on a almost everyday basis, or literally an everyday basis, you are not gonna bother that person. You're not. If they actually care about you, you're not gonna bother that person. I promise you. You're not gonna bother that person. Especially if they have gone through what you have been going through. You're not gonna bother that person. I promise you. Because, and I know quite a few people who, go through hard times, and they'll like shut down and things like that. And when that happens though, like, some people actually do need their space though. So give them space. This, I'm talking to the people right now who know somebody in their life that is going through hard times, and you're aware of it. Give them their space. Give them their space. If they're like the type of people who, just go quiet and disappear for a little while, give them their space for a little bit, because that is who they are at the end of the day. That is who they are. You don't want to push for them to talk to you, because the more you push for them to talk to you, the more they're gonna want to hide away. You don't want to do that. Give them some time. Now, if it goes like a week and you haven't heard from them, then yes, obviously reach out, because you never know. I mean, not saying that all people will do something, to themselves or anything like that, but at the end of the day, you never know. So I would say just, but check up on them. Don't sit here and be like, oh, you should talk to me about your issues. Why don't you talk to me about your issues? Like, not everybody's gonna want to do that. Not everybody's gonna want to sit there and tell you their business. And that is okay. Especially if they're a quiet person from the get-go, from the jump. But just knowing that somebody cares, and you reached out to let them know, like, hey, I'm thinking about you, that alone puts somebody in at least a better mood, because they know that somebody is at least thinking about them, rather than them feeling like that nobody cares. And I mean, yeah, there's like, as much as you want to like convince them, like, hey, like, I would much rather you talk to me about your whatever is bothering you, rather than you suffering in silence. Like, yeah, you could sit there and tell them that, but that's not gonna change their mind. They have to come to you. You can't force anybody to talk to you about anything, not even just their issues. Anything. But again, like, just knowing that somebody is caring about them and thinking about them, knowing that they're in that bad time, and you reach out, they're grateful for that. Again, grateful, thankful. They might not say it, but they do. They are. Now, for those who are on the other side, and you are going through those hard times, and you are that person that pulls away and doesn't want to talk about it, believe me, I have been there. And if you don't want to talk to somebody about what you're going through, then you have to make sure yourself that you are doing something about you being in that mood. I'm telling you, because if you don't journal about it, if you don't get it out in some type of way, because I mean, I even sometimes will like vent about it in my like while I'm taking a shower. Like if I'm like if somebody irritates me at work, I'll just act like I'm talking to them while I'm in the shower. Or if like there's a situation that I'm stressing about, for example, kind of like if I were to have like a test or something that I need to do and I'm sitting here stressing about it, I'll literally talk, like vent about it while I'm taking a shower. Like, it's all right, it's cool, we're gonna ace it, it'll be fine, we'll be fine, you know? Just talk about it. Saying it out loud and putting it out loud in some kind of way really, really helps, so that way you're not sitting there internalizing it the whole time. If that makes sense, if that helps in any kind of way. Because just not talking about it and keeping it down and shoving it away, it's unfortunately not healthy. Because again, as I've said in a lot of my past videos, that unresolved issue is going to come back up again. It's inevitable. It's going to. And when the longer you take to resolve whatever problem is bothering you, how can I put it? Every single time you get triggered, it's going to be worse than it was before, if that is making sense. So for example, say you had some type of unresolved trauma that you had from the past, right? And you're sitting there, you're trying so hard to forget about it, but being that you didn't resolve it when it happened, you start subconsciously manifesting it in your relationships. Like, say for example, say your dad used to come home drunk all the time, starting fights with the family, you know, and that traumatized you growing up. So being that you didn't work on it, you didn't talk about it with anybody or anything like that, then you subconsciously start looking for somebody that's like that in your relationships. And you don't realize that is the reason why you started doing that and sometimes you don't even get with somebody that's like that. Sometimes you become that person. And you don't even realize it until either somebody points it out or something really drastic happens for you to take one good long look at yourself in the mirror and figure it out. And that is what I'm saying. Like, and me, from a personal standpoint, I kind of just, I was always told that being angry, especially me being the oldest of 5 other siblings, I was always kind of told that, I kind of had to, basically, I was always told to kind of like, kind of parent, so I couldn't really be, a kid sometimes. And every time when I wanted to be a kid, I was always told I was being selfish. And not to say that there wasn't times that I was able to be a kid, because there were times, but for the majority though, I was always kind of put in the position where I couldn't be a kid. So I don't really know. So it took a long time for me to figure out what, how to build a social life and to be okay with going out without feeling like I had to walk on eggshells when I'm around other people. And I have been working so hard to change that about myself. Like I go out. I don't go out a lot. I mean, there's times though where I'll go out like every weekend, but then I'll go into like my little phase where I don't go out at all, and then I'll like go out maybe once every other weekend. And again, like, that is something that I have changed so much about myself, and I'm grateful for that. That is something I'm grateful for, because I didn't really get that opportunity as a kid. Every time when I would ask to go out with my friends, like, my dad would always think that I'm lying and think that I'm trying to go out with some boy. And so after a while, I just kind of got into this mood of, you know what, I'll just stop asking to go out then, and I'll just spend time at home. I didn't have my first relationship until I was 16. I'm not saying that that is like that's like a late age. That's not what I'm saying. But it's like, even then, I felt like I was doing something wrong being in a relationship at that age, because like every single time I went out, it was, for whoever I was dating. And don't get me wrong, like, yeah, there was times where I hung out with him, but I had friends too. I had friends too. Or whenever there was like sleepovers, my dad would mostly want the sleepovers at our house, just so he knew that it was actually just girls being there. I would say there was maybe only a couple times where we were actually able to have a sleepover not at our house. And so it made it really hard for me to have a social life. And plus, we were always moving. So that was another thing. It was kind of hard for me to even build any type of bond with anybody, because we were always moving. So it was kind of like, what's the point? What's the point if we just gonna move in the next few months? What's the point of even making friends? So I think that also had a very big part in doing it. And so again, I'm very, very grateful that I have been working on that about myself, because I do have friends now, and I do go out, and I can, like, I don't really have that mindset of there's no point in building a bond with people, because there's always a bond. There's always a reason to bond with people. Always. Humans need that other human interaction. We need that. It is a must needed thing. Even if you are an introvert, even if you are somebody who's comfortable being by yourself, you need that other human interaction, whether it's just calling somebody on the phone, whether it's just going outside and saying hello to somebody, saying, like, good night, good morning, good afternoon, whatever. Humans need that other human interaction. We crave it. That is something that is not only subconscious, but it's just how humans are. What are some things that you guys are grateful for? If anybody wants to put it in the comments, some things that you are grateful for about yourself. I would love to know. For whoever's comfortable enough to put it in the comments. And, you know, if you don't want to tell me, then I would just, make that mental note or write it down in your notes or on a piece of paper, like some things that you're grateful to yourself for. And not even just to yourself, but like just grateful in general. Like, because I think also too, we just forget so much. Like, we go through things in our lives and we forget to just be thankful sometimes, And I think also too, like, whenever we do, like, I'm not saying everybody, but I do think that we always take notice of the bad things. Like, we always take a mental note or of the bad things and make it like a core memory rather than the good things that happen in our life. And we forget to take a time to like sit in that good time and be thankful for it and be grateful for it. Especially if you're someone who is not used to getting those good moments, or realizing that you have come so far. I'm very thankful. Very, very thankful. I mean, just having a car, like I'm very thankful for having a car, having a roof over my head. Like, I'm a completely different person than I was 5 years ago. A completely different person. Completely. And I'm still evolving. Still. Learning and growing, for sure. So, and if I'm gonna be very vulnerable, like, there was a point in time, okay? There was a point in time where I was homeless. Okay? Look at me now. So for anyone that for anyone that is going through it and you feel like it is like, and you're in an impossible situation, that is what I am here for. I am living proof that you can change. You can. Baby steps. You do not have to be a completely different person overnight. It didn't happen for me. It didn't happen for anybody. Nobody just changes like that overnight. You have to put the work in. Whatever you put your mind to, you can make it happen. If you want to have a better mindset, that is going to take time. It's still taking me time. I started working on it consistently last year. I'm still having like setbacks on it sometimes. Still, to this day, I still have setbacks on it. And it takes consistency. You don't have a car and you want to get a car. Learn how to manage your money better. You don't have a job. Get a job, Put yourself out there. Go walk down the street. Walk into places. You can do it. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. You want to start your own business, you know, take the necessary steps every single day to start that business. You can do it. I know a lot of people sometimes are like, well, I don't got the money to start my business. Okay, well, what can you do to get the money then? Why don't you try doing a loan? Like, if you know for sure that you feel confident that your business will progress and things like that, and you can pay off that loan, get a loan. Get a loan and you can pay that off. Even if you do still got like a side job, you can pay off that loan. If only do that if you feel like you can pay off that loan. Like, even if your business doesn't take off and you are still working at like your day job, make sure you are making enough so that you can pay that off. You know, you gotta make plans. You can't expect to have all these dreams and all these wishes, expect them to just fall into your lap. You have to make the necessary step-by-step plans to get there. Even if it's one step a day, like you don't have to make one huge drastic step. Like, again, like, I started working on my mental health last year, and I just now started my channel a year later. And I kind of forced myself to do it too. It would have been longer, but I forced myself to do it. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Trust me, you can do it. Whatever you put your mind to. If for whoever is watching this video or in any of my other videos, the whole purpose of me doing this is to be that guiding light to whoever needs it. If you feel like nobody believes in you in your life, I do. I'm here for you. If you feel like nobody believes in you, I do. I believe in you. Even if you just need to hear somebody say that, I believe in you. Whatever you want to do with your life, wherever you see yourself going, you can do it. I believe in you. 100%, I believe in you. There was a lot of times where I wish somebody said that to me. A lot of times I wish somebody said that to me. I would not be here if it wasn't for my mom. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't. She was the one person that said those words to me, and it brought a lot of hope back into my life. I mean, I still had a little bit of hope before she said it to me, but I was slowly losing it. Like, each day I was slowly losing it until she brought it back, brought that spark back for me. And there you go. That is another thing I am grateful for, is my mom. My mom, I'm very, very grateful for her. We don't agree on everything though, you know, just as every mother and daughter, you know, we don't agree on everything, but I am very grateful for her. Our relationship is a lot better now too. It wasn't really that good when I was younger, but it's gotten a lot better. We're very close now. So again, I am very, very grateful for that. I'm very, very grateful to her. She's kind of like my best friend. Like I feel like me and her, like I take after her in a lot of ways, and so I feel like she's kind of like my best friend. So and I love that. I love that. I might even forward her this video just so she can hear me say that. But I believe in you. I believe in you. And I'm about to go upstairs because I got food here waiting for me. I'm pretty sure it's getting cold. By now it's probably cold. But again, I believe in you. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. You can do it. And again, let me know in the comment section if you want to, things that you are grateful for. I would love to hear. I would love to hear. And yeah, you guys have a good rest of your day, your night, whenever you are watching this. I love y'all. Bye.